And so what I would say is that I want to kind of regroup you. And that's the purpose of today's call, is just to regroup you and see who's actually done the first 30. So if you saw the message in the group, it was basically, can you print these things out, or at least get to, write some stuff down? So if you printed them out, can you flash your pieces of paper? And if you haven't, be honest, shake your head for me. Okay. Can I get in the chat, because I really want this to be interactive, honestly, hand on heart, if you haven't, I don't know which way it's going to go, whether the majority is going to be going, yes, I did do it, or no, I didn't do it. Let me have a look on this screen. If you did it, nod your head. Okay, if you haven't done it, shake your head. Okay, that's a little bit worrying. Okay, so there's a lot that haven't done it. So the reason why I'm doing it is because I really want to bring you back to this. These sheets here are really important, and I'm going to share my screen for you, because all of our vital behaviors are there for a reason, and they kind of filter in to your coach action plan. And so hopefully by now you all know what the vital behaviors are. Quickly, somebody list all the vital behaviors into the chat group so somebody can see them. Let's get this interactive. List them out. So what's the first vital behavior? Somebody type away. Let's see, personal development, that's one of them. Oh, yeah, we like that one. Be a product of the product, invite, proof of the product, perfect. And someone's missing one. Ah, there we go, recognition. Thanks, Hannah. So we've got 4 vital behaviors. And so kind of understanding them and kind of owning them is really important for you, and kind of getting to grips with them. The one I can tell you now that people have the most challenges with, guess what, is the invite. And that's why we've kind of written it 3 times, because that's the one that we have challenges with. And all this in your first 30 will really help to support you. So I'm just going to share my screen. I've managed to gate crash a UK coach's office because mine's still showing the US one. Just in case some of you don't know where to find this information that I'm going to go through with you. So let me just go into sharing screen. And so now hopefully you should be able to see my screen. Can somebody give me a thumbs up, because the chat appears to have gone now? Yep, brilliant. So you can now see this. So on here we've got in the training section of your coach online office, so you go to coach.teambeachbody.com. This is where you will see some of your coaching, so training. So you go into training, and literally there's a whole, I'm pointing to it as if you can see me pointing to it, but I know you can't do that. But you can see on here different sections of training. So if you haven't yet looked through all of this, I'm going to say to you to definitely go and do this. This is one area of your coach online office that you'll need to go to have a look at. And some people I've heard are going out running around, talking to people already, which is amazing. And I love it, because energy and enthusiasm sells 10 times over, actual product knowledge. However, to have all of this information as well here, and go out excited and really empowered as well, so you know what you're talking about, would be even better. So I'm going to go through the basics though. We're going to start with getting started. And a reason why I'm going through this with you, and if you feel like I'm teaching you to suck eggs, then, I apologize. However, you are now going to be able to do this with your team as well. So the more you hear it, the more it kind of sinks in, and then you'll go and teach it, because this is the foundations. That first 30 days are really important. And I'm sure you're all feeling it. You're all in your first 30 days. And these are really important times for anyone that comes into this business. So this is now not necessarily just about you. It's now about your coaches too. So if you click on getting started, it brings up, if my Wi-Fi is picking up quick enough, there we go. You now get this side of your business where you get to look at the first 30 minutes, the first 30 hours, and then the first 30 days. So I'm going to go to the first 30 days, because this is where you will find some of these printouts that you'll need. And as you can see in there, there's 3 steps to share Shakeology, but there's actually within the training side a whole section on Shakeology and products. But what you want to look at is the Coach Basics Participant Guide. So this brings up another form, and you can print all of these out. So when some people have said to me, oh, I was expecting a kit to arrive in the post. Our kits now, we've decided, are going to all be virtual. So everything that you would have ordinarily received in the post as a training material are now appearing in your Coach Online office. And the reason why we do that is A, to save the environment. B, you know what? There's only so much paper you can deliver in one go. And there's so much more content in this now than you ever would have got in a coach kind of business kit that would have been physically delivered to your door. So this coach participant guide is a really good one for you to kind of start with and make sure, and kind of, I hear so many people say, well, I've sent it to them. No, you really need to do this. What I'm doing with you now is to talk people through it. And that's what that Getting Started Right call is all about. So you may have seen that listed in your first 30 days where it's like, book a call with your upline, and they're going to go through the Getting Started Right. And so this is where, outside of everything that your team are teaching you, this is really important, because this is a system that anyone can follow. So if something was to happen to your upline coach, they can always go back to this and follow this system. It's in there for a reason. And so as you flick through the coach participant guide, it goes through the coach basics, talks about the 4 vital behaviors, talks about what you need to do about showing up, be willing to step outside your comfort zone, which is one of my favorite things. You know, I'm always about, you know, do something today that makes you feel slightly uncomfortable. And if you can't, and if you've got in your head, I can't do it, then you have to say, I must do it, and switch the word I can't to I must. It's a little bit scary to start off with, but it feels so good after you've done it. Keeping it simple. And that's why this bit is so important with the coach on Coach Online Office. This keeps it really simple for you by following these steps. So yeah, just follow this. And if you keep scrolling down, it now tells you things to do. And so it says here about creating a contact list. And if you actually click on that bit there that's underlined, it will give you this printout here. I don't know. I mean, if you've seen it, drop me a message and say, yes, I've seen it. Like, somebody put coach contact list. If you haven't, be honest. You know, that's what this call is all about. I'm all about being honest on this. And, you know, even if we have to start from scratch and go again, it's fine. I can't tell you how powerful this contact list is. And that's for many reasons. And firstly being, you're going to have somewhere to specifically write down the names of all of these people that you know, and don't just rely on, well, I've got a contacts list on Facebook. Because we all know if we start going through that list and then step away from that page and then go back, the names are all shuffled back up again, and you don't actually know which ones you've written down or which ones you've spoken to. So here, actually getting pen to paper, which is really old school, or typing it up on an Excel spreadsheet in this kind of format is really good, because you can put down their name, their email address. Now this is kind of out there and quite, you know, for some people would be old school, email address and your telephone number. And then the comments that you've got, and you can kind of follow 5 steps here. And I would say this is the thing that when I was in the field in a business, I did religiously. Every day I made sure I added people to a physical list like this, because this is how I managed to keep track. Now, there's going to be different ways in which you're keeping track of everybody that you're speaking to. And if you're not, then this is what you need to use, because it's really powerful in going back to people that have maybe said no, not yet, doesn't mean no, not now. So make sure, if you can, print this list out and use it. It's got ideas across the top there. It says, you know, how you met, what their wants and needs are. Step 1, she's interested in a challenge group. Step 2, wants to lose 35 pounds. You know what? You might speak to this person 7 times before they say, actually, yes, I'm going to do it. But at least you've got a way of tracking people and be able to go back to them. And someone once said to me, and I'm a big believer of it, that the fortune is in the follow-up. So if you just send messages out to somebody and then don't ever follow up with them, you've lost it. You need to go back. And that's why when you look at TV advertising, it's on, God, how many times do we see a television advert? You know, doesn't matter what the brand is, it's on repeatedly. And there are still television adverts that we would sing the songs from that were back in the 60s, Shake and Vac being one of them, because they played it repeatedly, but it's kind of stuck in our minds. So you need to kind of, in marketing standards, it's like people need to see things about 7 to 10 times before they think, actually, I'm quite interested in that. So this is a really good way for you to be able to track that. So make sure you're using this. And as I'm talking to you now as Emerald coaches or wanting to be Emerald coaches who are now developing their own coaches as well. So making sure that you go through this with your team and explain how you use it. You know, how do you find this works for you as well? Okay, so that's one form. Now, if you're struggling to put people on this list, and initially you may be able to write down lots of people, we have something which we call I need to check the name of it because other people you might know. That's what it says here. So let me have a look. Hold on. Is it called a memory jogger? Yes, it is correct. It's called a memory jogger. I didn't want to call it memory jogger in case that wasn't the right terminology for the Beachbody one. So also in this coach participant guide, you will find something here, underlined here, a memory jogger. This is genius because this will really help you to expand your warm list, because there'll be people there that you hadn't thought of. And at this point, just like you did when we did the goal setting, you need to really dump any preconceived ideas about people that are going to come up from this list. And the reason behind this list here, and let me just bring it up on the screen so you can see it, is so you don't just rely on Facebook. You're kind of now thinking about people in your own community that you physically know and possibly see. And the reason why we do that is because then you're building something closer and not just all over social media, because chances are we'll have connections on social media and we'll think, oh yeah, there's Joanne, yeah, there's Fred, you know, all of these names off of Facebook just easily go down, but you haven't really thought, what do they do for a job? How do I know them? How would they possibly be interested in this kind of thing? So this is building your contact list here now, and we talk about friends, family, and associates. And so it will just give you some nudges. So you need to, obviously your mother, hopefully you've remembered your mum and your dad and your grandparents, but then we go down to it, nieces, nephews, then you've got co-workers. Who do I work with? Literally write down every single person you work with. Do not prejudge. Just put every name down. Church members, social group, neighbors, spelt the American way. Don't we just love that? Babysitters, school groups, organization friends, casual acquaintances. And then there'll be more and more. So obviously you've got your original list that you've got. Then you've got people with fitness or financial interests. And this memory jogger is absolutely genius at helping to expand your network. You will think that you've got everybody you thought you had, and you think you've got them all in your head, but actually until you write them down, you'll be amazed at how many more people you can think of. Do not just solely rely on social media, Facebook, and your telephone. Just, you know, because I know from definite, there's plenty of people at my children's school that I know of that I haven't got them in my phone book. So it's like, use this jogger to help you to expand your network. And like I said, do not prejudge. This is not the time to be doing this. This is literally a time for you to be writing people down on the list. Now, other things that you can put down here, and actually, I don't know whether it's got it as a section. There's lots. Look, if there's not enough on here to kind of jog your memory, then I don't know where you'll find them, because there's loads. And I'll try and get one updated as well with all of our counties in it, maybe, instead of having all the American ones as well. We'll see if we can get one with all the United Kingdom and Ireland, Irish counties put in there as well. But when you go through it, because remember the funnel that we talk about, and this is something that I've had some feedback with regards to people, you know, running around with a bag of Shakeology saying, and I don't know whether you can see me, let me turn the screen off for a second. Hold on. Technology. Here we go. Bear with me. Well, this is fun. I practiced this and everything earlier, and now it's not working. Let's get you there. Okay. Well, now it doesn't want to play ball. Hold on. Zoom meeting. Stop sharing. There we go. Now we're back. And so I've been speaking to quite a lot of people face to face and also on the telephone. And the biggest objection I get from everybody is about the price. And we get that, you know, we were talking earlier, Thomas and I, and we're talking about the fact that we're a Waitrose of nutrition. You know, we're not your, I don't know, your pound store nutrition. We're not your, in some cases, even Tesco. We are a Waitrose. The quality of our ingredients, the quality of our product is way up there. And then the content that we give on Beachbody On Demand, if you actually listen to the US coaches, the way that they promote is it's like $5,000 worth of content for 160, you know, pounds for a challenge pack. So it's pretty phenomenal what we give. But what I'm hearing is a lot of people kind of running around, and this is where the Shakeology is. It's kind of like straight in their faces. Like, hopefully you've all got that now. It's like in your face. Yeah, it's in your face. It's like, this is what you're leading with. And actually, you know, for anyone just looking at that, that is a lot of money for a bag of shake. You know, although we know how much value and how expensive these ingredients are here, if you're just leading with this, that's a lot. You know, it's like they can't get their heads around that. When actually what needs to happen is Shakeology needs to kind of go over here a little bit, and you need to give content. Now, who honestly, put your hands up and just say that you did listen to the National Wake Up Call on Monday morning. Okay, there's a few, very good. If you haven't, then you need to go back and listen to this Mondays, because we talked about, you know, free challenge groups and giving value before this is introduced. And this is the point that where we're at right now. And I think, you know, when you go to all of these people that are on your list that we've just looked at there, you're going to start inviting them into your free challenge groups. Now, some of you, I'm sure, have already been feeling like, what have we had now? What, 10 days, 2 weeks of Shakeology here in the UK? You've already had some results. I've heard some amazing stories. I've heard people losing 4 pounds, 7 pounds, 10 pounds. If you've lost any weight in the last sort of week, I know I have. I think I've down 3 pounds since I started my challenge. I'm on 21-day fix with a little bit of little obsessed in the middle. So if you have already, pop that in there, because this is the power of a kind of testimonial. And so at the moment, it's great that we've got our kind of people at the front that are leading with the Shakeology. You've all jumped in and done it, but now you're going to want to create some testimonials from those people that have jumped in straight away, ready for your challenge groups. So your free challenge groups. And if you're not holding a challenge group of any sort, even if there's just 3 people in there, you know, I urge you to kind of lead with that. Do one in your local community, do one online. If you haven't done one yet and you need some help on how to do one, there are so many videos out there on YouTube on how to hold a free challenge group. And this is where these people that you've got on your list, you can invite them. So if anybody comes back to you, they shouldn't be coming back to you saying about the money just yet, because you should be giving them so much value right now that they are like just handing their cash over because they see the value in it and they've lost weight already. Let's have a look, see who has. Amazing. 3 pounds, 2 pounds. Yep. 7 pounds. A lady with IBS has come off of a medication after 1 week. That's amazing. And so these stories are now what will build on your challenge group. And this is what always happens when you come in at the beginning. You're starting afresh. There's no testimonials. You've got to kind of grow that. And so every single person now that gives you a testimonial or tells you that they've lost weight, you want to ask them if they'll just type it up for you, and if you're happy for that, if they're happy for you to share that, because this is now a selling tool for you. Is that you're posting this in, like, even if it's going back to one of our vital behaviors, in a form of the way you recognize that person within your challenge group. Is Joanne's lost 7 pounds. She's done absolutely amazing. These are the kind of meals that she's eaten, and this is what this is the Shakeology product that she took. Get those kind of testimonials. Keep a bank of testimonials. You're going to need them, and use those in your free challenge groups. And the people that you invite to your free challenge groups are the people off of this memory jogger list that we've just looked at there. And then how do you keep a record of who's in your free challenge group? Obviously, you've got them either in My Challenge app or on the portal online. But you can also keep a physical note of them as well, so you know who's coming, who's at what point in the business, and if they're in the free group or if they've moved over to one where they're actually buying Beachbody on demand at the time. So that's that part there. Now back to the first 30. Your friend, I'm loving this. All these little testimonials in here. I'm now regular. That's the one thing that when we listen to Isabel Dykler, she talks about it all the time, and Carl do. They talk about how regular you become when you take Shakeology, and I'm sure we can all say it without, you know, really having to blast it out there, that that's actually what's happening. From Thomas. Oh, hello, Thomas. Your friend's he's already seeing cholesterol levels down. Amazing. Skin is better and nowhere near as bloated. See, these are the kind of testimonials, you know, even take a screenshot of what everyone else is typing here, because this is powerful stuff that you're going to be able to use in your challenge groups. So back to the first 30. Who has actually completed their action plan? This one here. Okay, let me have a look in the screen. If you have, just put your hand up. Give me a thumbs up like that. And keep them up so I can flick through all the pages of people that I've got here. Okay, so there's not many. Right, So this is one thing as well that you can download in that coach office, in that basics participant guide, is your 30-day coach action plan. Now, for those of you that have got it and actually done it and completed it already, and Thomas sent me his earlier, it's like we like to go through it ourselves as well, just to see kind of what you're experiencing. If you've completed that, how often have you checked in on it? And now this piece of paper needs to be kind of somewhere really close by. You need to be checking in on it daily and sticking to the commitments that you put down there. So what I would say is for everybody to kind of print this out and complete it. And when you get a new coach in and you're getting started, right, cool, because you should all do that now with everyone that you've got coming in, this is down to you to do as well, is get them to complete this as well whilst they're on the phone with your support. So you're kind of holding their hand, especially if there's somebody that's coming in with 2 feet and they want to run full steam ahead in the business. And what it says here is my why. So obviously, you know, I'm really big about this, is why have you come into this? And for those of you that have seen on our group today, we've put out there that we want volunteers in there as again. Why do you want to be a volunteer? I'm really big about, you know, what your why is, because that's really important as to how you'll kind of move forward with this mission on combating obesity and people that are generally unfit here in the UK. So it says, my why I became a Team Beachbody coach, because make sure you complete this. And then it says your first 30-day goals, and it will tell you in there, you can literally put down how many people you want to help, how much you want to earn in commissions. You're going to complete all your coach basics training, and you're going to stick to your fitness program and your Shakeology. Now, all of these are kind of fitting into our 4 vital behaviors. And then it talks about the 4 vital behaviors and your action steps that you're going to take. So how are you going to do this? You're going to post on social media. You're going to start a new conversation. Now, that can be in person, that can be online. But if you're online, take it offline as quickly as you can possibly get. Find out someone's goal and invite them to a challenge group. Invite. We're going to do some more on this. Follow up with your contacts. Remember what I said? The fortune is in the follow-up. Fortune's in the follow-up, everyone. So make sure you do that too. Work out and drink Shakeology daily. Now, some of you have been doing it, and we see it on Facebook where we see some really great posts where it's like it's quite interesting. Like I'm scrolling through constantly in my newsfeed now, and some people just make me stop. You know, it's like that whole, we talk about it in the office about marketing, and it's, you know, when you're scrolling through something and you'll experience it, you'll be flicking your finger up, and then all of a sudden it's something will catch your attention. You're like, oh, I'm going to watch that. That's what you want to be, and that's who you want to be, is somebody that kind of catches your attention. And I'm just going to post in here now Chalene Johnson's YouTube video on curiosity marketing. Now, she did this at Summit this year, and it's amazing. If you haven't yet watched it, I urge you to go watch it. I'm going to pop it into the chat group, and then you can go and copy it from there and take it off and save it somewhere. Don't start watching it now. Obviously, you're watching me right now. So go and watch this at some point. If you haven't yet seen it, go watch it. She talks about, you know, creating curiosity, and it's not about, and this is the typical that my Shakeology cup's downstairs right now. It's not about standing on Facebook and doing one of these cheesy Facebook posts every day. Sometimes that can be just a little bit too much, and I would literally just be scrolling through this. You want to create some curiosity. You know, let your blender explode in your kitchen and have it all over your ceiling, or do something that will create some kind of, you know, stopping. It's like a newsreel that you just want to stop on. But Chalene Johnson really talks about how powerful that can be, rather than just selling to people constantly. And that's what she's talking about, is don't sell, you know, just create that curiosity. So definitely go and watch that video. So obviously you've got your workout and drink Shakeology daily. If you're in the challenge with anybody in the challenge tracker, and I know I've joined someone, so each sort of 3 weeks, I'm going to jump onto someone's challenge group. Doesn't matter who it is. I'm just going to go, okay, today I'm going to join your challenge group. So it could be you. Fortunately, Diana Wright got the opportunity to be coaching me this time. And she's really good at keeping you accountable in that chat. So we're in the challenge tracker, and every day we have to post a picture of like what we eaten, our shake, and then us doing sweaty selfies, etc. So make sure that you're doing that, but also helping your team. Now go back to the National Wake Up Call on Monday. Obviously, that was talked about as well. So go and listen to that too. But if you're not in a challenge group yet, on the challenge tracker, which is now up to date with the London time, as it's now called, LT time. This is a new one on me. but at least it's in our time zone and we've got all the right measurements in there now. So definitely make sure you're being held accountable and you're doing your part and showing up for your coach too. Personal development, which books are you reading right now? Has everyone got a book? I have a couple on my desk constantly. On the back of that, I'm going to start a book club. Who would be interested in a book club? Give me a thumbs up if you want to do a book club. Yeah, okay. So I went to, yeah, good. Shaun T's new book. I love it. Yeah, there's some great books out there. And I actually went to an event the other day and she was awesome. And she did an amazing event. She made us walk across hot coals and we were meant to break an arrow with her throat. Well, I couldn't do that bit. That was all bit too scary for me. But I did the hot coals. That was outside my comfort zone. And she's written an amazing book about Anisha Awesome. So I'm going to get her come on and do an introduction to her book. And then we're going to do a book club starting in December. So it gives you some time to save up for the book and then also to buy it. But we'll kind of read one book together, but also have other books going on as well. And it will last for a month. So each month we'll do a different book. So that'll be starting in December. So look out for that one too. That'll be in the UK Coaches page. But personal development comes in different forms. And this is personal development. The National Wake Up Call is personal development. And if you haven't yet done it, go and type in your texting, coach call, hold on, if I could spell it, that would really help, 26677 and see what happens. And I'll tell you what happens, is you will get a reminder every Monday morning at 7:45 that the National Wake Up Call is about to start with the telephone number that you need to dial in. So how easy is that for us on a Monday morning? So coach calls 66677. And that's where you will also get your reminder for your National Wake Up Call. So on here, National Wake Up Call should go on there as part of your plan that you're going to attend or at least listen to the replay or the podcast each week and help your new coaches to do the same. So when you're walking through this, you need to let them know all of the information that I'm giving you right now, you need to go through with them. And so that goes under personal development as well. So it's not just reading books. It's not just listening to audios. It's attending events like this. It's going and watching YouTube videos of other coaches. It's listening to anything that kind of makes you feel good in the morning. And that's where you get your personal development. Now, the next thing is your recognition. And on here, we talk about recognition. Now, I've spoken about this before, that sometimes this is not something that we would do every day. It's unusual for us to kind of recognize people. I know where I've worked previously, you know, that was like, if somebody recognized you, it was like, wow, probably once every 3 years, acknowledging you. So I really want to encourage you, and this is where you'll get your great testimonials from recognizing people, especially when they've got some kind of transformation where it's not about, you know, achieving a rank. Yeah, that's amazing. And we love recognizing our coaches that have achieved ranks. And for all of you that have hit emerald and diamond on here tonight, you know, we are so proud of you. But what I also love is when our customers are having massive transformations. And I got to speak to somebody today that is on such an amazing journey. And trust me, once you have these conversations, it makes you feel good, let alone how they feel afterwards. So make sure that you're reaching out to anyone that's in your challenge group and they've said, yeah, I've lost 7 pounds. Pick the phone up and just give them a big, like, you know, congratulations on the call. Ask them how they've done it. See if they'll be happy to share and have a conversation. Talk to each other. Pick the phones up and actually have a conversation with each other, because that is so powerful. So what I'm going to challenge you all to do, so that we don't go on all night tonight, because I could quite easily stay on here with you all night, is just put it out there. If anyone has got any questions that you would just quickly put in there, that you, or something that you found that's really helped, pop your hand up. Say if you want to have a chat. Keep it positive. Let's keep it uplifting. We've got like a couple of minutes just for some questions. Has anyone got any questions that they would like to ask in the group? Don't be shy. I'm looking over here in the chat now. Everyone's gone really quiet. Where do I find the form to change next month's Shakeology flavor? Okay, so in your back office, or actually, let's go FAQ. Now, has anyone said to you, I'm just about to FAQ you? We do this all the time in the office, even between us in corporate office. If we ask a question that we know that there's an FAQ for, we just say, look, I'm going to FAQ you now. So faq.beachbody.co.uk or .com is the best place to find any information. And so let me go share screen again, just so you can see this. So if I go, now you can see my screen. Okay, so if I go FAQ, beachbody.com, change Shakeology, HD. This is where it doesn't work. There we go. Can you see it now? Somebody give me a thumbs up. Can you see my screen? Okay, so at the top one there, it's come up with an answer. So I just literally put that into Google search engine. I just put faqbeachbody.com and then whatever my question is. And at the top there, it says online order change system. And it will now give you an FAQ on how to change your Shakeology. So if you ever have a question, now don't be afraid of asking other questions because I'm not going to just FAQ you every time. But if there is a question, and we do it, we have, you know, in court, we don't know the answer to everything. There's so many FAQs here, it's crazy, but it's an amazing resource for you. So we're always, if I've got a question, I think, oh, I wonder how that works. Oh, I wonder how the November to Remember thing works at the moment. Okay, FAQ, beachbody.com, November to Remember. Everything just jumps up. Any question, just search it in Google and it will come up for you. And if it doesn't, then chances are you are going to need to ask one of us, and that's okay to do that. But I would always try and be self-servicing first before you come and ask somebody, because we have got 1,000,001 things to deal with, and as have your upline coaches as well, where this is here as a tool for you to make you more self-resourceful. And you're all kind of CEOs of your own business now. So this is really important that you go and seek out answers as much as possible. And then use your time with your coaches for stuff that you can really help to develop you as a person when the answers are just here for stuff like that. So there we go. It's also on the FAQ homepage. There we go. Oh, we got some more questions coming up here and Thomas is busy answering them. Thanks, Thomas. So yeah, so this is kind of an introduction, and this is why I've done this, because I know so many of you haven't actually done it, and I'm going to challenge you all now to comment in, you know, to me privately or on a Facebook, you know, post about today's meeting when I mention these lists, and just say that you've done it. This will really help to set you up for January. You're going to be wanting to put so many free challenge groups into December as possible that you can, you know, there's lots of people that want to get into a little black dress right now. There's lots of people that have got Christmas parties and things that they want to be fitter for, or have better skin for, feel better for, more energy. You know, not everyone is waiting until January. However, I know you're going to have a lot of free challenge groups running up to Christmas, ready to launch them all in January. So this is how you're going to build your contact list of who you need to invite. Don't ever think that you're going to run out of people, because you just won't. Especially if you go out of your house every now and again and actually speak to people. There are so many amazing people out there just waiting for this opportunity, and speaking to somebody face to face is so much fun when you've got something this great to share. So that's everything I'm going to do for you today. I hope you've got some content value. Moving forward, our mastermind groups will obviously be smaller. I'm going to split them out over a couple of days. There'll be a day one and there'll be an evening one for you, and you can jump onto them, and then we will do some sharing of best practices. So if you've got some stuff that's working really well for you, then you can share it, and we'll have a group that will run for maybe a month, and we'll do a weekly call, and then the next group can come through into that group, and you can move on to the next stage, hopefully at Diamond Coach. And so we'll do it so that you can be interactive, you can, you know, really talk to each other about what's working and get to introduce yourself to other people across the UK. My last little notification for you is that if you want the TBB Beachbody Success Club prize this month in November, you need to be in a team of 2. Even if you hit Success Club points and you're not in a team of 2, you will not get that hat sent through to you this month. We are all about you partnering up, and it's not just about selling November to Remember and the double time packs. It's about every pack that's on Beachbody On Demand. It's everything is included. Obviously you get extra points for November to Remember, and we've got great incentives in place for that. But teams of 2 are what we need, and the reason why we're doing this is just to get you to do it together, just to kind of find a mentor, especially for us guys here in the UK where you've just started out in business. It's really good to have a mentor, and actually if it's someone you don't know, that's even better. And what we'll do is we'll hold a Zoom call specifically for the Success Club Challenge for November. Make sure you go and get registered. You've only got, I think, about another 24 hours now to register with your team of 2. Go and find someone. If you haven't got anybody, just post that you need a buddy for this on the baseball hat photo that's in the group. And we will pair you up. I know I've spoken to somebody over in Utah office today, and there are lots of diamonds apparently on the west coast of America that need to buddy up with some emeralds. And so I was there on Zoom. So every day I join them on Zoom, and I'm like this. I have loads of emeralds here in the UK. So chances are you'll get to see that post go up in the group tonight. If you're an emerald coach that wants to buddy up with a diamond, then go and find one on. It'll be like a bit of a dating site. It's not a dating site. Don't look at it like that. It's like a buddy system that we've got going on. So go and join in on that post that will get posted there later tonight. So thank you, everybody that's come on here today. Huge congratulations to everyone that's had some kind of transformation, has managed to lose weight, you know, cured IBS or got rid of it so much, and lowered their cholesterol. Amazing job. Really proud of you. If you're doing Autumn Calabrese's Little Obsessed, big high fives to you. I hope your abs are burning as much as mine are today. And I look forward to seeing you again next time. So our next call, I'm going to be running one on a Thursday at 11 a.m. and another one on a Thursday evening at 8 p.m. So I'll do 2 slots for Emerald coaches where we'll do mastermind, where you'll be able to communicate with each other as well. And we'll always go through the first 30 and seeing where you're at with it. There'll be little projects and little homeworks for you to do before you come along, just to make it more interactive. But if you really want to get to diamond, then I, definitely jump onto these calls and see how they'll benefit you. And so I want to say a massive thank you for everyone for coming along this evening. And I look forward to seeing you on Thursday. And I can't wait to shout out who's next on the drive to Emerald and Diamond. And if you are really running for Diamond and you think you're really close, please send me a message, because I'll happily spend some time with you on a one-on-one. I've got some time slots available this week, so I'd love to spend some more time with people that are running to hit Diamond and seeing how I can help and support you. So great to have you here all tonight. You're all looking gorgeous. Give us a great big smile. I love it. It's been brilliant. Thank you, everyone. Give us a big wave. Bye.